tim ka namin Lizwa, shooting sa.
The Barclays WSL resumed in the weekend. Yeah. The Barclays WSL resumed in the weekend with Arsenal playing out Everton, while Manchester City, taking advantage of Chelsea not playing, they were traveling to Bristol City. Yeah. And then again, Manchester United, they will travel to Leicester City to face. They travel to the Midlands to face Leicester City. Sorry. Sometimes I get mixed up in these kind of things. Anyways, guys, before we get too much ahead, this is the Fantasy Football KE. And I am your host, Papa Dero, aka Papa Disaster, aka Papa D. And I'm ready to give you the lowdown of how it all went down in the Barclays WSL Game 20 weekend. Yeah. So, as I was telling you, Arsenal played out Everton. Arsenal traveled to Merseyside to face an Everton side who are looking to finally get any point against the Gunners. Remember, Everton have not won in any of their games against Arsenal. It has been so long before the last time they won it against Arsenal. So Everton were looking to see if they could be able to grab a point against the incredible Gooners, and this is how it fared out. So Everton played out a 3-4-3. Yeah, playing out a 3-4-3 with Grossman at the goal. Then we had Holmgard in defense pairing up with Finnegan and Stevenik. And then in the midfield we had Wheeler, and then her twin sister Holmgard, twin sister Sarah, pulling up in the left wing back, and then Hope pulling up in the other end of the pitch in the right wing back, and then Van Hamet pairing up with Wheeler in the midfield, in the center of the pitch, the Australian. Then at the front we had Piemonte, the Italian, who was playing on as a right winger, and then in the middle, at the focal point of attack was Snois. I think I've got the pronunciation right, Snois. And then Bissell pulling up in the left wing back position. In the substitute bench we had Hart, and then we had Dale, Wilding, Hobson, the 16-year-old Everton fan, and then Settle and Jones finishing up in the for Everton. Remember, they were missing high performer Gali, who was missing through injury. As for Arsenal, it was a 4-2-3-1. Yeah, the usual 4-2-3-1 with Manu Zinsberger preferred over. Sorry, I'm having slight of a hiccup here. Manu Zinsberger being preferred over, because D'Angelo was not available. She was not available for selection. I think she pulled up with an injury or something. So we had Lydia Williams, Naomi Williams pulling up on the bench. Then we had Emily Fox as your right back. We had Williamson and Catley pairing up in the centre half position, and then we had Katie McCabe pulling up as a left back. Yeah, in the middle of the pitch, it was the usual pairing of Pelova and Little, Kim Little, the captain. And then on the focal point of attack, it was Tina Blackstenias, supported by Alessia Russo behind her, while Caitlin Ford and Beth Mead pulled up on the flanks to provide the width for Arsenal. Yeah, so this is how things fared up for the Gunners in their trip to the Merseyside. This is how things fared out. So join us and let's take you about for everything that happened in Merseyside. Again, this is the second time. This is the fourth time that Alessia Russo and Stina Blackstenias are playing together. So massive chance for the Gunners to be able to pull in the goods. The fans have been clamoring for Russo and Stina to be played together. So, and ceded to the call. And then on the bench, we had Viviana Miedema, Laura Weinreuter, and we also had Naomi Williams. As I told you, she was on the bench. Then we had Frida Manham, Chloe Lacasse, Laia Codinha, Tia Goldie, and then Kyra Cooney-Cross. She was once again available for selection after being able to see out the injury. And then Katie Reid coming in for the unavailable Lotta Wooben Moy. So that is how Arsenal lined up, and that was their squad going on into Merseyside. Arsenal's last five WSL results have been somewhat. They have not been the best, given that they've won four games and then they've lost one. But they have a good momentum, having that they have won the last three, including beating Bristol City 5-0 and then winning 3-0 against Leicester at the Emirates. So that is how Jonas Eidevall set up his team, and that is how they were going to set up going on into Merseyside derby.
Afternoon, as the players from both sides take a knee to remind us that there is no place for discrimination in football or any walk of life. It is our defence. Immediately the Gunners looking menacing and creating an early opportunity, which is swallowed up by Courtney Brosnan.
It's a really good drive in the midfield from Palova.
Into Snoyce, who's conceded possession and little looking to capitalise. And Arsenal are in here and looking dangerous. And Blackstenius will reflect upon an opportunity that she perhaps should have taken.
Arsenal had a couple of chances early on in the first half. Stina Blackstenius squandering a couple of them. Like this one was just straightforward at goal. The pass from Caitlin Ford, she was onside, but then the finish was just the Swede could not finish the opportunity well. But Everton always kept threatening through the set pieces, and early on they rattled the bar. Yeah, they rattled the bar through a header from. Yeah.
Really good delivery on this left-hand side from Holmesgard, the back post.
Early signs there to rattle Manu Zinsberger's goal, to remind her that they were coming, that they were not just going to sit back. Arsenal very, very culpable defensively, as you can see. Catley there, hardly marking Holmesgard, Van Hevemer, and Arsenal were lucky not to concede in the first half. But then again, Arsenal got back to their dominating self, and again, Stina Blackstenius was caught offside. This time she was caught offside, but then again, she could not take the chance as well, although she was offside. So in her defense, she always had those doubts. Arsenal kept coming and coming. Glorious runs. Pelova there on the looking to link up the attack. Yeah. How good has been the Dutch international for Arsenal since her signing back in the winter of 2023.
Mead is there. Blackstenius once more. Surely this time.
Hello. So, whoa. Caitlin Ford there squandering a very, 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 very big open chance with only the goalkeeper to beat. Caitlin Ford floundering her lines and missing the opportunity to put Arsenal up front after being found out well by Stina Blackstenius.
US international to come in field. Pelova, Mead, Pelova. Better this from Arsenal. Moving the ball with a bit more intensity. Fox wasn't able to get the cross.
Arsenal attacking Everton's left-hand flank through Emily Fox. Coming, raiding the goal, raiding the opponents.
It's a good one again. It's a real scramble, and Arsenal will have a thing like that for Arsenal to finally prize open this Everton defence. Kiamonte thought she saw an opportunity, and thought she saw Zinsberger far enough off that line to take advantage.
There's going to have to be some effort to beat Zinsberger from that position, but
the first half proved out to be a couple of opportunities. Both teams had it in them. They pulled a couple of opportunities, but none of them could take their chances. As you can see, Arsenal missing most of their chances there. Pelova with another missed opportunity for Arsenal, but they kept pushing, and Everton kept holding them back. They defended their lines well, and they were able to restrict Arsenal to a couple of half chances. Arsenal just couldn't make it count.
Really good technique. She drives through the ball.
So the first half played out to a 0-0 draw, with both sides looking to having questions, asking the questions, but none of them being able to provide the answer. Though Arsenal had the best of the opportunities, Arsenal had the best of the opportunities going into the half. Still, Blackstenians could have put Arsenal ahead. We could have seen another goal from Pelova and Ford as well. But then again, this is the game. This is the game. Then, as the second half began, Leah Williamson was substituted for Laya Kodenya. I don't know if she got injured or something, or it was just Jonas managing her minutes. But basically, she could not continue with the half. And then I don't know if the Merseyside pitch was quite slippery, because as you can see there in the beginning of the second half, Emily Fox sliding out, and then the American international, instead of quickly standing up back and getting back into the game, she sort of lied down. That was poor, and Everton could not capitalize on that. So Arsenal kept pushing, and Everton kept defending and keeping them at bay.
Really good overlap on that left hand side from Arsenal. It just hits it.
Arsenal's first corner of the second half, flipped towards goal but grabbed by Brosnan. Mead to McKay. Blackstenians is there.
Pulled over there with another glorious missed opportunity after being put through by Katie McCabe. That was a very big miss. It was she had the goal to herself. She basically had the goal. She was put through on goal. With only Brosnan to beat. She could have taken it with her right foot. She could have taken it with her right foot. I don't know why she took it with her left, because it ended up going back into the other side of the goal, which was not the preferred one. But Arsenal kept on pushing and pushing. A couple of bad decisions, a couple of bad passes there. Emily Fox, she could have done better with the ball. She gave up that ball too easy. But Arsenal kept pushing. With Everton mostly doing the defensive work. Again, another missed opportunity from Emily Fox. She could have done better. She could have shot at goal, but she rather passed it tamely to the goalkeeper. And the American is still searching for her first goal as an Arsenal player. It was another missed opportunity. Arsenal kept missing opportunities, opportunity after opportunity, chances after chances, keep being blown away by Arsenal.
Mead, that's an inviting cross which doesn't get the required touch, and another chance that Arsenal have created is not converted.
Fantastic play from Arsenal around the 18-yard box. This ball out to Mead. Whips it in.
Again, another cross by Mead, but Lacasse cannot get her header in. Missing the header after a very good cross from Beth Mead out on the right hand side. Again, Arsenal missing out another chance because they could not capitalize on their chances. Yeah.
Maybe have that McCabe to Mead. Mead delivers, but Russo can't finish.
That was the story of the day. That was the story of the day for Arsenal in Merseyside. So many opportunities, but they couldn't even finish them. They couldn't take their chances. They couldn't finish all the opportunities that they made. And that has been basically the story of Arsenal seasons. They've just been creating opportunities, but they cannot finish them. Yeah. Despite having two strikers in Alessia Russo and Stina Blackstenius, Arsenal still languishing without a goal deep into the 80th minute. And finally, in the 80th minute, a Chloe Lacasse cross was put through to goal by Beth Mead, but the keeper was able to parry it, and it fell into the front of Alessia Russo and the England international. The England striker gave Arsenal the lead with a well-taken opportunity to put Arsenal 1-0 up. That was a good goal. That was a good goal. But in my opinion, this should have been the icing on the cake. It should have been so many others, you know. What a fabulous cross by Lacasse. Mitch should have finished it with the first time shot. That one should have been Beth Mead's goal, but she pulls Brosnan to a save, and from the rebounding effort, Alessia Russo was there to tap it in.
On the back post.
Alessia Russo hammers it into the roof of the net to give Arsenal the lead.
It has been coming, Steve.
And then after Arsenal got their goal, they sort of became lackluster. They sort of became complacent, playing with the ball in the dangerous areas. And Everton were very, very unlucky. Arsenal were very lucky that Everton could not punish them and take advantage of the opportunity. So Arsenal there playing with fire. You know, the signs were there to be seen. Arsenal playing with fire.
And then the list of players longer than he would have liked that he had to go through off a piece of paper who weren't available today.
What a fabulous run of play by Russo there, setting up Sina Blacksenius, but she could not finish it. And then from the rebounding effort, Kim Little's shot was wide off the mark.
We see the footwork from Russo. What a turn! And then again, just with the outside of the foot, great pullback. He falls to Kim Little.
Dale is in for a chance to level.
On the other end of the pitch, Arsenal were being found out. You know, they were slightly complacent, and they were found out because Katie McCabe rescuing Arsenal from what looked like to be a goal, but Arsenal escaped there. They were lucky to escape. They could have been 2 goals down. You know.
Got some speed, and it drops kind before anything. Gets on the volley, but she hits it. Doesn't get a foot over it because of Katie McCabe's fantastic.
Looking to keep the ball alive. Mead is there as well again. Holmesgaard away for Everton only momentarily. Mead into Russo, who had a glorious opportunity to make absolutely.
Deep in added time, in the 93rd minute, Russo could not take her chance. Arsenal, she floundered her lines and wasted a very, very glorious opportunity. This was basically, it looked more easier than the first goal that she scored. Being put through on goal by Beth Mead, it seems like only the finishing was just there, easy to do it, but she floundered her lines, and a couple of Arsenal fans were crying out for a penalty. But then again, when you look at the chance, she had already wasted the chance, and they were rightly punished. Arsenal hanging on by a thread, and in the 94th minute, Arsenal were found out. In the 94th minute, Arsenal were found out finally. They had been toying with fire for quite a while. And finally they were punished. 16-year-old. 16-year-old Issy Hobson, lifelong Everton fan. Remember, she's still in school. She still has exams to do this week, considering it's the end of the school calendar in the UK. She still has to go to classes, and she came in from the bench to score for her club, for her girlhood club, putting and to draw them back into the game and earn them a precious point against Arsenal. Remember, Everton have never taken a point against Arsenal, and who to do it than the lifelong fan herself, 16-year-old Issy Hobson. So the game there, deep in stoppage time, in the 95th minute, the 5th minute of added time. Remember, the game was added 7 minutes. 5th minute of added time. Issy Hobson pulling up there with a goal to bring back Everton and haul them back into the match and earn them a precious draw. Yeah. Also deep into the match again, in the dying moments, Beth Mead had another shot saved on goal, although she didn't take it well. Basically, this was the story of Arsenal. This was the story of Arsenal. Just wasting chances. They created a lot, but they couldn't finish. So, and effectively, although we all knew it, but effectively, this now puts on paper, it rubber stamps that Arsenal can no longer mathematically no longer be able to win the league. Although we all knew it, from the moment they lost that game at Spurs, and then they followed it up with the loss again at Westham. Those were the signs. Those were the signs that it was no longer in their hands now, so they had to rely on a lot. And then when you have to rely on other people for you to win something, it never ends up well. So Arsenal there, they screwed themselves right out of the league's running. Yeah, they've lost 5 games. They've lost 4 games. They've drawn 3 games in the league, and basically that was Arsenal showing the other. Showing their metal. That was Arsenal showing their metal into the league. Meanwhile, in the other games we had Manchester United taking on Leicester City. Manchester United played out Leicester City to 1-0. Manchester United winning 1-0 courtesy of a goal from Ella Toon. Yeah, Ella Toon gave Manchester United the goal to keep them on the hunt for fourth place, to maintain their fourth place equation. And this is how the team set up. This is how things went down in this is how things went down in the Midlands. Yeah. So Leicester City there, having lost to Arsenal earlier in the game 3-0, they were looking to bounce back against Manchester United, and at least being at home, it provided them with the opportunity to do just that. In goal, we had the return of Janina Leitzig, yeah, the German international, and then we had Sam Tierney captaining the side. Then we had Howard. Then we had Jutta Rantala, Lena Peterman, Yanis Kayman. Then we had we had Takarada, we had Thibault, and then we had Godwin. Yeah, and then last but not the least, we had the Japanese attacking midfielder, the young exciting sensation Momiki. Then in the substitutes, we had Cope, and then we had Nevin, Bott, Palmer, Rose, Whelan, Green, Pelgranda, and last but not the least, we had Simpson. So that is how Leicester City set up against Manchester United. Yeah, and I know the return of Leitzig was a joy to many of the Leicester fans. As for Manchester United, we had Mary Apps as usual starting up in goal. Then we had in defense Maya Leticia paired up with Hannah Blandell, Militana, and sorry, just a little bit there. Then we had Gemma Evans pulling up at left back. Then in the middle of the pitch we had Katie Zelem and Nalsand playing up together, and then Miyazawa started for the first time since coming back from injury in place of Ella Toon, and Mallard and GC and Galton started out in the front of attack in a front three. On the bench, we had Tulis Joyce, who has not played a single WSL game this season. Then we had Manion, and then we had Ella Toon, as I mentioned before. Then we had Irene Guerrero. Then we had Hayley Ladd, Lucia Garcia, Nikita Paris, Rachel Williams, and then Ahane pulling up in the substitute bench. That was a good. It's a good strong bench for Manchester United. It's a very very good one. It's a strong one. Yeah. So this is how Manchester United fare out in the Midlands. Looking to keep their fourth position after a couple of threats from Liverpool.
Again, Manchester United's high press already, proving
United came in looking for blood. Came in baying in for blood.
Galton certainly not able to let it go just the WSL. Likewise, Tottenham Hotspur and Brighton Hove Albion.
But as you know, Leicester City, they were always a threat on the counter. Peterman there looking for Tierney, but nothing could not come of it after passing out to Goodwin.
Miyazawa gets it back to Turner, it's back to Norsund, tries to stand out towards the far post, and Mello,
This one was largely. It was not a highly heated up affair. They had a couple of chances. G said there after a good pass from Melvin Mallard and a good turn, but she could not be able to complete the finish, having been caught out by the Leicester City defender out for a corner. Yeah, but it was a good run of play. As you can see, Galton there linking up with Mallard before Mallard set up Rafaela GC. Then Leicester City, it was an end-to-end game. Both teams baying out, both teams coming out for each other, trying to find out each other. It was a proper end-to-end game, yeah. So GC there, one of the best exciting players in the league. A very, very naturally a gifted dribbler. trying to make life difficult for Yanis Kayman, who was playing in as a fullback. She has been in one of those unconventional Leicester City setups. Yanis Kayman is a proper midfielder, calm winger. So seeing her playing as our left back, it sort of reminded me when we used to see Kai Havertz being lined up as a fullback by both German. Yeah. So Manchester United kept coming. They kept coming and going, but then again, Leicester City themselves, they were very very solid on the defense, restricting them to near chances and half chances. And opportunities that they could hardly. Basically, Manchester United didn't have much of the real chances in the game. Yeah, but then again, also Manchester United restricted Leicester City to basically the same thing. It was basically an end-to-end game. There was really nothing much from it, and the first half went out to a nil-nil draw. Yeah, the first half went out to a nil-nil draw, and in the second half, Max Skinner decided to alter things a bit, bringing on the likes of Ella Toon. Ella Toon coming in the second half, to try and balance up the things and maybe salvage the points there. But then again, things continue getting harder and harder, and Man United continue dominating. Man United trying to get that elusive goal, and then we also saw the likes of Lucia Garcia also coming in the second half, and as well as Rachel Williams. Yeah. So Elaton came in there for me as it was the expected substitute, and immediately after she came in, Manchester United started being more and more purposeful in the attack. Yeah, and then again, Leia, Mary Abs continued proving her worth. Keeping Manchester United in the game, maintaining them, and making sure that they still had a chance. They still had a chance at it. Because Leicester City themselves, they are a formidable side. The likes of Momiki, the likes of Rantala, the likes of Yanis Kayman. So that was how that it was just the case of the game. Yeah. As you can see, another near miss there from Manchester United after a wonderful game of play. And before finally, Ella Toon
We
finally
spoke about this game needing a little bit of magic. We spoke about it needing a bit of class, a bit of the difference.
coming from
And
the
that is
bench.
what Ella Toon
Ella
does.
Toon with a very very
That is why
fantastic goal,
Ella
an
Toon
exquisite goal.
is magic.
The turn and finish, it was well awesome. And Manchester United fans, they are very very pleased with that one.
Came and clear.
Away from home, going on nil-nil throughout that time, and then being able to find a goal out of nowhere, and from one of the most popular players is in the team, Ella Toon grabbing the goal for Manchester United there. It was a fantastic, well taken goal.
Sort of trademark driving runs towards the byline.
But still, they had to defend because Leicester City, they were coming, and then in this game we saw an additional of 11 minutes of added time.
Towards the far post, towards Tebow, headed away. Takarada's going to get there. Takarada's going to get the shot off as well.
Takarada had her shot saved by Mary Abs, although to be fair, it was a very tame effort. Yeah, it lacked the required power to threaten Mary Abs' goal.
Around and eventually
Luther Rantala with the free kick there, but nothing coming out of it. And then Yanis came and from nothing she managed to take a shot, and she could only find Mary Abs in goal.
brilliantly.
So basically, Manchester United were able to finally see it out, being able to grab the all important 3 points, and they were able to take all the 3 points back to Manchester and be able to keep up with. To fend off Liverpool, because Liverpool had been coming and coming. Then in the other match of the day, Liverpool had been able to just continue coming and coming. In the other fixtures, we had Liverpool versus. Sorry. Let me just confirm a little something over here. Yeah. In the other kickoff of the day, we had Liverpool playing out against Liverpool were playing out against Chelsea on next weekend. Yeah, it is a continuation of this game week, which basically means that Chelsea will be having a double game week. So Manchester United, they are taking advantage of Liverpool not playing. They were able to win 1-0 and take the 3 points at home, and they were able to keep fending off Liverpool. Yeah. Meanwhile, Spurs drew with Brighton 1-1, while also there were draws for Villa who drew out with Westham 1-1 at home. And then, as I told you before in the other segment, Arsenal drawing with Everton away from home. Yeah. And then the last match of the day, the last match of the night, so Bristol City, who are looking relegated, a relegation threatened Bristol City, were hosting Manchester City, who themselves were looking to take advantage of Chelsea playing in the Champions League semi-final and go even a notch high up. Like basically they were looking to continue extending the lead and extending the gap so that they can be able to boost their chances for the WSL title. Remember, Manchester City going into this Bristol City match, they were without their talismanic striker, Khadija Banishaw, who has been ruled out for the rest of the season, basically the last 2-3 games remaining with a foot injury. Yeah, as we told you about this one in the other segment, the preview for the game week 20 in the WSL. We did tell you about this one. So that was it. Bristol City today, they had only one job. They just had to win, because a loss or a draw today meant that they were definitely going to be relegated. Remember, Bristol City, they have 6 points. They have 6 points from 20 matches, 21 matches. So it wasn't going to be easy for them. So Bristol City playing against Manchester City, it was a match. It had all the pomp and valor. It was all set up. It was all set up for a very, very glorious finish. So Manchester City, they are lining up.
Kick off, the players take the knee. The message clear. There is no room for racism or discrimination. Well, here we go then. Two sides at total opposite ends.
In the absence of Khadija Banishaw, we saw Chloe Kelly return back into the squad, lining up in the right wing, lining up in the middle of the pitch, while Mary Fowler retained her position on the right flank, while Lauren Hemp pulled up on the left wing in that Manchester City front three. In the midfield, we had Jess Park playing alongside Laura Combs. Jess Park playing alongside Laura Combs and Yui Hasegawa. While back in defense we had Laia Alexandri lining up besides Laila Wahabi, and then Alex Greenwood, and Alana Kennedy. So that was the Manchester City squad. A very, very formidable squad on its own. Yeah, as you can see, it was make or bust for Bristol City, and this is how things kicked off in Bristol Town. Yeah, sorry, Bristol City, not town.
Greenwood.
Manchester City from early on threatening. Early on, Manchester City coming out, being out for blood. And as you can see, Lauren Hemp was marking her 100th appearance. And in her 100th appearance, she has 39 goals and 31 assists. It is a very, very decent tally. It is a good tally. 70 goal involvements in 100 appearances. Not many can boast of that, especially in a Manchester City shirt. As you can see, Chloe Kelly linking up so well with Mary Fowler and the Australian international, threatening to pull out the danger every time the Manchester City went on forward. And then there were a couple of signs early on with a couple of doves and seabirds, not seabirds, a couple of doves trying to put out the pitch sign, but Nothing was working for Bristol City. Yeah. Early on, Manchester City, they could not take in their chances. They created a couple of them, but they could not finish them. So many chances, but Yanis in goal kept them at bay. Yeah.
Just couldn't find the target. It's the ball through to Fowler for me to receive it in behind as well, and struggling to cope with it so far. Coombs. Well, she spotted that the goalkeeper was off the line. She saw her opportunity, but nothing too testing for the Bristol City goalkeeper. And she can hit them, Laura Coombs, but doesn't quite hit it with the ferocity that was needed. Here's Kelly. To get it, and Coombs is waiting for it. It's through his hand. Another brilliant passage of play for Manchester City, but again, nothing too testing for the Bristol City goalkeeper, Shea Yanez, in the goal. No, but it's a good run down the side from Chloe Kelly, the ball in. And
in the first half, it was all Manchester City. So many efforts at goal. They kept knocking at Bristol City's goal, but they could not find the cutting edge finish. You know, the difference maker. They could not finally get that right pass, that right shot, and break the deadlock at Bristol City. It was a perilous moment in the game when Kiara Keating collided with Amalie Thestrap, and as you could see from the match, it was quite a painful clash. Yeah, Keating there bearing the brunt of it, as I think the Thestrap's boot caught her in the face, or slightly in her upper region. So yeah, it was a big blow for her. Yeah, I think it caught her in her upper region. Yeah, almost blasting her arm off. But Keating continued, and she wavered on. In the first half, it was all Manchester City, and Bristol City were doing the best to keep Manchester City out of it, because hardly had Yanez been threatened, at least with real attempts at goal, because most of them, the Leicester City were able to deal with it. The five-woman defense, and then restricting Manchester City to shots outside the box, which were most of them which were very, very tame. And it looked like maybe, just maybe, Bristol City will get another reprieve and see another day out in the league. But then again, in the second half, things changed, and I think Manchester City turned up the gear. In the second half, Manchester City turned up the gear, coming in more and more, their shots getting more and more stronger, getting more and more ferocious, and then they kept knocking, exposing Bristol City's defense, and it was looking like a goal was imminently coming. As you can see, the cross there from Mary Fowler, Alexandri could not take advantage of it. Yeah.
Fighting for their lives to try and stay up.
And then in the 61st minute, Mary Fowler, she took the ball few inches away from the D, and she was able to blast a shot into the Bristol City goal, and she was able to finally beat Yanez, the Australian international, taking her chance as well. And finally, Manchester City were able to breach the Bristol City goal. A good pass from Yui Hasegawa, and then she walks through with it. She carries the ball and then unleashes a left. It was not exactly a shot, but it was a left curler onto the top right corner. Yeah,
nobody engages well,
and she beats Yanez.
She's allowed to drop into the pocket, pick it up.
She was accorded too much time, given too much space.
Ferocious shot with a left foot in that top left-hand corner, giving Yanez her goal.
Yanez had no chance. She had no chance at all with that one.
And so as well.
And with that goal, we saw more and more of Manchester City. They kept pushing and pushing. More and more opportunities. They kept threatening Bristol City's goal. Lauren Hemp there with a header that just glances off the posts, almost squeezing in past to that top right hand corner. And then in the 64th minute, again Hemp with all the chances Fowler was in the mix of things again. She almost got another goal, yeah, and Manchester City were able to earn a corner. Hmm? As the game kept going on and on, they kept threatening and threatening. And remember, Manchester City, they were looking for goals because, as you can see in the WSL, goals are a key factor, and they could just end up proving to be the difference between Manchester City and Chelsea. Also, Manchester City were looking to take advantage of it and score more and more goals, but Bristol was so stubborn, and City had to be crafty about it. Then in the 74th minute, again Mary Fowler coming up with the goods. Credit to all those. Remember, we told you in the previous episode in the Fantasy WSL, to be able to go for the players such as Mary Fowler, with Barney Shaw out, and Mary Fowler being a constant presence in the team, and he had a good run in the team, a couple of assists, a couple of goals. So for those of you who listen to our advice, this was a time to reap. A brace from Mary Fowler, the Australian international, and the second one, it was a well taken out goal, latching on into Lauren Hemp's goal bound effort, and to just escort it to goal, and just put it inside. Chloe Kelly switched on into the left, and the beauty about Manchester City is their wingers. Lauren Hemp and Chloe Kelly, they can be able to switch sides. They can be able to play on either flanks, and they switch sides so easily, so seamlessly. So there, Chloe Kelly playing in from the left wing this time. She was able to spot in an opportunity in the Leicester City defense, and from her resulting cross, the ball was picked up by. On the other side, the ball was picked up by Lauren Hemp, who headed it at goal, and Jess Park tried to attack the game, but Amy Rogers, unfortunately, in trying to keep out Jess Park, she put it in her own goal, and it ended up being a third goal for Manchester City. Yeah. So unfortunate for her, man. Imagine being relegated and then being one of the reasons why your team has been relegated, because of course the goal kind of matters. Yeah. Manchester City kept coming and coming. Yeah, they kept pushing for the fourth one. Remember, as I'm telling you, the goal difference it will play a massive factor in the running of the WSL. So Manchester City were very, very keen to make sure that they got more of the goals, especially when playing against a team like Bristol, who are relegation threatened. Yeah, so it was basically City coming out for blood, and Chloe Kelly there looking for another opportunity with the volley, but her ball just went out wide and over the bar. Yeah, and then deep in stoppage time, Chloe Kelly's free kick was headed in by Alex Greenwood for a fourth one, and this more or less it cemented Manchester City's position. The captain leading by example, putting Manchester City 4-0 up ahead. Having kept the clean sheet herself, and now she got in the all-important fourth goal to make it 4-0, 4-0 against Bristol City. And it was basically the last kick of the day, and the match was over. Just about in the end. What a well taken header by Greenwood. She's able to get in a good position. Yani is very, very unlucky with it. She tried to punches it, but it rebounces off in the post and lands back inside for a fourth one.
In the title race, and look at how much it means for Gareth Taylor and Manchester City.
So with that result, it basically confirmed Bristol City's relegation, and the Robins are back down to the championship. Yeah, they have been relegated, and now they will have to claw back again from the championship. Remember, they came into the league last season. They were promoted last season after winning the championship league, and now Bristol City relegated back to the championship as Manchester City won 4-0, and they kept their hopes for the title. Yeah, another good performance by Gareth Taylor's side. Yeah, as you can see in the build-up of the game, Leicester City. Sorry, don't know why I'm confusing them with Leicester. Bristol City, they were stubborn. They really tried. They really tried their best to keep out Manchester City. And maybe if they were if they were clinical with their chances, maybe they could have probably taken the lead or something, or maybe given Manchester City a run for their money. But unfortunately, the quality of Manchester City was able to finally see off. It was able to make the difference. As remember, they were missing Bunny Shaw, the WSL's top scorer with 21 goals. So Manchester City, for them to be able to win big, and continue keeping up the goals in the absence of Bunny Shaw, it just shows you the quality of their squad. Winning 4-0 there, a brace from Mary Fowler, and another one from Captain Alex Greenwood, in between an own goal by Amy Rogers. Yeah, it really, really must be sad for Leicester City, considering no, not Leicester, Bristol City. I think I have to put I have to put a mental reminder not to mention Leicester. I think it's because Leicester City have been promoted back to the Premier League. Sorry, that is non WSL news. Leicester City have been promoted back to the Premier League, so I guess that is the reason why their name is so much on my mind. Yeah, so Bristol City has confirmed there they were relegated, and Manchester City kept their quest for the title. Now they are 9 points ahead of Chelsea. Remember Chelsea? Sorry, they are 6 points ahead of Chelsea, and 9 points ahead of Arsenal. Remember Chelsea are yet to play. They were playing out in the semi-final, the return leg of the semi-final of the Champions League, hosting Barcelona at the Stamford Bridge, a sold-out Stamford Bridge, by the way, which I might say. Yeah. So Manchester City there took advantage, winning their game and extending their goal differences. So Manchester City are leading the WSL logs. Manchester City lead there with they are leading with 52 points. Yeah, they are leading with 52 points from 20 games. And then Chelsea come in second with 46 points. Yeah, with 2 games in hand. They have only played 18 games. Arsenal are third with 44 points from 20 games. Manchester United are fourth, with 35 points from 20 games. Liverpool 19 points with 32 points with 19 games played, while Tottenham Hotspurs as well, they have 27 points with 19 games played. Yeah. And then in the seventh spot is Aston Villa with 21 points from 20 games played. Basically, it looks like an average of 1 point per game. And then Brighton and Hove Albion 19 points from 20 games played. Then Everton they are also tied with Brighton with 19 points as well, also having played the same number of games. Leicester City coming in at 10th with 17 points from 20 games, and Westham they have 14 points from 20 games as well. And then Bristol City, as I mentioned earlier, they've been relegated. They have 6 points from 20 games. Basically, an 8-point difference between them and 11th placed West Ham United. So basically, the title, the chances of survival, they're out of their reach. Yeah. So that was the game week 20 in the WSL. That was match week 20. Yeah, and remember, Chelsea still have to play Liverpool. Yeah. Chelsea have to play Liverpool. That will be played out next weekend, as they look to get back and recover their games. And could we see Emma Hayes? Remember, Emma Hayes, this is her last season in English football. She has been appointed as the US women's national team manager. So could we see Chelsea end up going trophyless in the season? Because it certainly looks like they lost the Conti Cup final to Arsenal. They were eliminated by Manchester United in the FA Cup semi-finals, and then they were eliminated by Barcelona in the Champions League semi-finals. Because for now, the only chance of a title, it looks like the only chance of a title is it just has to be the WSL. Yeah, they have a good opportunity at it. because, as I told you, they are only trailing Manchester City by 6 points, and those 6 points are the 2 games in hand that they are yet to play. But then again, remember, 2 games in hand, they are not equitable to points. Remember, there's a difference between having a game in hand and having the points the points. Basically, if you don't for you to turn your games in hand into an advantage, you have to win them. And they are playing against Liverpool in Merseyside, away to Liverpool. They are going to Merseyside on Saturday, and then their other game they'll be playing against Tottenham Hotspurs. Yeah, so that is how the state of affairs are in the WSL. Basically, as we told you in the first segment, Arsenal more or less now they are officially out of the running of the league. They can't win it even mathematically. Yeah. Although you do remember our episode whereby we told you Arsenal were out of it back in February. Sorry, not back in February, but back in December. We told you all about it. Yeah. So in terms of the goal difference, how do you think? Who do you think is going to take it? Who do you think is going to take it in terms of the goal difference there? Yeah. Just having slight of something. I'm having the flu. We've been having a couple of a rough weather in the 254. Yeah. So that is how the WSL landscape looks like. In the championship division, Crystal Palace have been promoted back into the league after winning the championship, the Barclays Championship, having beaten Birmingham City 1-0. Crystal Palace are back in the league after a goal from Hughes. Hughes, I don't know if she's related to the to the male to Hughes, who plays for Crystal Palace men. Yeah, but she was able to score the all important goal. While Charlton Athletic won 2-0 against Watford. Yeah, goals from Melissa Johnson and Phyllis were enough to the give Charlton a 2-0 win away from home. In the other results, also, Sheffield United lost 1-0 to Birmingham City. Sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm giving you the results for the previous game week. So in this game week in the championship, Charlton Athletic beat Southampton 2-0. Played out at the Valley, courtesy of goals from McGowan and a brace from McGowan, one in the 4th minute and the other one in the 59th minute, were enough to give Charlton Athletic a 2-0 win over Southampton, and thereby putting out any form of competition from the Saints. Yeah, Crystal Palace, they drew 0-0 against Sunderland at Selhurst Park to take the all important point that proved to be the difference as they were promoted to the WSL, just edging out Charlton Athletic by 1 point. Yeah. Meanwhile, Watford won 3-2. Watford won 3-2 at home against Reading, with goals from Hines, Herbert. No, not Herbert. Joju, and then Jones. Yeah, Perry did try to pull in a brace, but it was not enough to keep Watford. So Watford themselves have been relegated. They have been relegated from the championship division. So as the table stands by, Crystal Palace with 46 points, just 1 point ahead of Charlton Athletic, who come in with 45 points. Sunderland in third with 41 points. Southampton with 39 points. Birmingham City with 36, and then Blackburn Rovers with 36. Sheffield United with 29, London City Lionesses with 25, Durham with 23, Reading FC, Reading with 22, Leeds with 16, and then Watford with 15. Just 1 point between them and Leeds. So that is how the championship looks like. So Crystal Palace replacing Bristol City in the WSL. Yeah. So that is how the landscape of the WSL looks like. and it promises to be yet another exciting season coming on into the end of the into the next season. Remember, in this season of both Championship and the WSL, we had 1 million viewers for all the games. That is a huge improvement for the women's game. It is a huge boost. It just shows where the direction of the team is going. I mean, the direction of where the women's game is going in general. So we commend you, the fans, for the fans who have been attending the games and those who have been making things happen. So a very well done to the WSL, and looking forward to even more and more in the upcoming season. Yeah. So two more games remaining in the WSL. 4 for Chelsea because they have 2 games in hand, while 3 for Spurs, Leicester. So not Leicester, Spurs and Tottenham Hotspurs and Aston Villa. Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think Chelsea are going to be able to restore back their winning formula? Are they going to be able to retain their title, or are we going to see a first title for Manchester City in 8 years? The last time Manchester City won the league, the WSL, it was back in 2016. So 8 years on, are we going to see them be able to lift another title? And remember, they have already qualified for the Champions League. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Manchester City have already qualified for the Champions League. So now it is a battle of who goes directly into the group stage between Chelsea and Manchester City, while Arsenal will have to battle it out in the qualifiers again. So going on into the game against Liverpool, do you think Chelsea are going to be able to harness themselves? They are going to sort of bring back themselves into the game. Are they going to be able to pull all the wits and all their grit and retain their title? Or do you think Manchester City will be able to see it out without Banishaw and be able to claim the league? Yeah. Remember, next game week we are going to be having Tottenham Hotspurs versus Chelsea, while Arsenal will be traveling to Manchester City to take on Manchester City. They'll be traveling to Main Road to take on Manchester City in the Joy Stadium. So are Manchester City going to be able to hold themselves, or Arsenal, or will Arsenal once again screw them out of another opportunity? Remember last season out, Arsenal were able to pip Manchester City to the last Champions League qualification spot in the WSL by beating them 2-1 at Meadow Park. And with that win, it basically proved to be the blow for Manchester City's UEFA Champions League bid. So are we going to see a repeat of last season, or are Manchester City going to learn from their mistakes and from the experience last season and be able to beat Jonas Eidevall's side and make it grab their destiny and probably have a chance in winning the league? So a lot still left to play for in the WSL in terms of the top in terms of the league. Yeah, Arsenal again there with the looking like they are going to be the kingmakers. For Arsenal, they are playing for pride. There's really not much into it. They've already qualified for the Champions League and they basically cannot win the title. So they are just basically playing for pride. Are they going to be spoilers for Manchester City, or are they going to be kingmakers for Manchester City? Arsenal themselves, they are caught out between a rock and a hard place. If they lose to Manchester City, or Manchester City drop points in a draw, and then Chelsea win all their remaining games, basically Arsenal will have crowned Chelsea for their 4th title in a row, to make it the 7th WSL title for Emma Hayes. Or if they lose out to Manchester City, they will make it. They might just give in Manchester City within a chance of lifting their first WSL title in 8 years. Yeah. And remember, Lauren Hemp has signed in a new contract. She has signed a new 3-year contract to keep her at Main Road for 3 years up to 2027. Yeah. So after all the speculations, after all the rumors and the and all the noise, Manchester City now have been able to retain the services of the 23-year-old Leoness international Lauren Hemp and with the likes of Mary Fowler, the likes of Chloe Kelly, and next season the return of Barney Shaw. Manchester City are looking out to be a very, very well set up force in the WSL. They are looking to come back again and bring back their past glories. Also, they also have a very, very good contingent of players in the midfield. As you can see, the likes of Jess Park, the likes of Jill Rood, who is out with an ACL injury, and also the likes of Yui Hasegawa, an excellent midfielder, a DM who has been like no other in this season. She's probably in the team of the season for the WSL. Yeah, and then it has been a great team. So let's see how Manchester City fare out. Let's see if they'll be able to grab in their destiny and be able to see out the rest of their games and take in the WSL title. Yeah, and then again, remember they have already qualified for the Champions League. So it's only a matter of whether it will be in the group stages or whether it will be in the qualifiers. Anyways, that was how the WSL weekend fared out. Yeah, and I've already told you also how the things ended up in the championship with sorry, not Ipswich Town, but Crystal Palace edging out Charlton Athletic by 1 point to get that important promotion, and they were coming in to replace the outgoing Bristol City. So Bristol City dropped to the championship while Crystal Palace get promoted to the WSL. That is how things look out in the women's division in England. And so what do you think? Who's going to take the title home? Will it be Manchester City or will it be Chelsea? Be sure to reach us with your opinion. Be sure to tell us what you think, and tell us who do you think is going to take the title at home? Will it be Manchester City or Chelsea? Yeah, reach us out on our socials on Instagram and both Twitter, aka X, and give us your opinion and views. Anyways, this has been the Fantasy Football KE show, and I've been your host Palevo, aka I've been your host Papa Deno, aka Papa D, aka Papa Disaster. And as usual, I want to wish you a very, very good week. May you have a fantastic, blessed week, and may you be filled with all the greatness that the game has to offer. Yeah. So adios, muchachos, and as usual, protect your tool. Don't play yourself. We are out.